Hello everybody, thank you for joining us in another video by your friend Sergio Chávez. I'm a realtor, broker in Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, Mexico. I've been living in Puerto Vallarta for 20 years. I grew up in El Paso, Texas. See? So work brought me to Puerto Vallarta. I did grow up in the United States. And moving to Mexico, just like many retirees, it was all a surprise for me. Big culture shock. Because when people move down, you're expecting totally different world than you come here to find out. Right now I'm headed to the airport to pick up guests for one of the best hotels in the area. And almost every day people ask the same question, which is, everything looks beautiful, but what about the cartels? What is the truth about cartels in Mexico? See, every day we get the same question. So what I always tell people, is if you're not a drug dealer, you have nothing to worry about. See? The reason why you hear of shootouts in places like Cancun, Cabo San Lucas, Acapulco, Puerto Vallarta, all tourist destinations. When people go on vacation, they want to have fun. So they call the local dealer and they say, "Can you help me and bring me some candy?" And then the dealer is all happy and he's like, "Sure. Where are you from, my friends?" And then, people say, "Oh, well, we're from Chicago or New York, California." The reason these guys are asking is because they want to know how much people are used to paying for their candy. They sell it to them, to tourists, at the same price, like if they had already smuggled it all the way up to Chicago, New York. They're paying those prices down here. The cartel is not very interested in selling to us because there's no money in that. See? They would prefer to sell their stuff either in the US or to people from the US because that's where the money is. See? So one thing you will never find in Mexico is tent cities. We do have some people that are homeless and that are drug addicts. We do have that. But you will not see a tent city in Mexico. See? The cartels are interested in making big money. That's why they don't want to sell their stuff in Mexico. That's why they're interested in US clients or the USA. Usually when there's a kidnapping, most of the time, one way or another, it is because of some bad business. So I grew up on the border, El Paso and Ciudad Juarez. El Paso is supposed to be the safest city in the United States. Right across the border, Ciudad Juarez is supposed to be the most dangerous city in the world. That doesn't make sense. So, let's say there's a bust on the border. By the time the immigration officers are saying, high five, we caught a load. Yeah, that load is not going to get to the society and we're going to save a lot of people. By that time, there's already a lot of people dying in Mexico. Those drugs, they're already paid for. Usually they're paid for by a mean cartel boss. The mean cartel boss is not gonna pay for another load just like that, and he's not gonna be like, oh yeah, send another load, no problema. Somebody has to pay for the lost drugs. Usually the guy that loaded the drugs, the guy that prepared the car, usually he's gonna have to go down. He may get a couple chances, you know, but after several loads they get caught, then usually that guy that loaded the drugs, he's gonna go missing. And usually they know what's coming to them. It ain't the law that they're worried about, you know, they're worried about their boss, their own boss coming after them. So a lot of times they go into hiding, and when they go into hiding, that's when the cartel will kidnap the family, so that guy will turn himself in. See? So with every bust there is on the border, the price of drugs goes up and their power goes up. It's strange, ironic how things work, but prohibition has made the drug market, the drug business, stronger. See, for example, when marijuana was legalized in California, Colorado, that put a lot of people out of business. You know, if there's not so much money involved anymore, then people don't want to do it. People do it because of the money that they might make, you know. So in Mexico, this kind of business is for people that didn't go to school, people that don't like working hard. See, if you live a decent life in Mexico, you don't have nothing to worry about. That's why so many retirees and expats and Mexicans from other parts of Mexico, that's why we end up moving to places like Puerto Vallarta and make that our primary residence. our primary home. Puerto Vallarta has really good weather year round. We don't have jackets. Nobody has any type of heating in their homes. Some people don't even know what a heater is. People that are originally from here, they don't know what a heater is. The food is very good, natural, organic. A lot of it is seafood. The weather we have here is not good for the cattle. So that's why our main diet is seafood. And because of this healthy lifestyle, it's exactly the reason why so many retirees end up moving to Puerto Vallarta. The real estate that they buy, the retirees, expats buy in Mexico, ranges anywhere from $25,000 for a home, self-standing home, all the way up to $50 million. Or, if that's not enough, you could do what Bill Gates did. He's the owner of the Four Seasons in Puerto Vallarta, in Punta de Mita, which is about 30 minutes away from Puerto Vallarta. See? So, Puerto Vallarta and Mexico in general are safe if you're not in the drug business. You will be safe. Some cities like Puerto Vallarta, if you're walking around at 4 or 5 in the morning, the people, not the taxi drivers, the regular people will pull over and ask you, are you okay? You need a ride? You know where you're going? And just to give you an idea how COVID has affected the real estate market in Puerto Vallarta, we don't have a lot of inventory. Everything sells. Most of the developments are sold by the time they're delivered. A lot of the times, the only availability is pre-construction. That's how hot this and other international markets are. See? That's why it's such a strong market, because if it's not Americans buying, it's Canadians that are buying. If it's not Canadians that are buying, it's Europeans that are buying. If it's not Europeans that are buying, it's Mexicans that are buying. Somebody is always buying. So, very strong market. Those villas, $50 million villas, and there's not that much availability. So, that's the type of market that you want to get into. You don't want to get into a market where, you're going to pay so much and then your property is not going to appreciate, or you're going to have a hard time renting it. Most of the properties in Puerto Vallarta are reserved 3 years in advance. That's how hot the market is, okay? And just so you know, real quick, you can own real estate in Mexico if you're not Mexican. As long as it's private property, you can own. The real estate or the properties that foreigners cannot own in Mexico are farmland. Farmland are owned by the community. You have to be a natural born Mexican to belong to a farming community. See? So that's the real estate that a lot of people were using prestanombres, put it in the name of a Mexican, and then they were having bad experiences. Well, it's because of this. They were trying to buy cheap farmland, get a good deal, But at the end of the day, you know, it's risky because you're not buying in your name. I mean, so my recommendation is, as long as you stick to private property, put it in your name and your wife's name and your kid's name and only you. See, you don't need to put any property in the name of a Mexican. So if you have any doubts, feel free to contact us anytime. My email is sergio@lighthousevallarta.com. Check out our website, lighthousevallarta.com, and feel free to write us with any questions, doubts, suggestions, comments. We'll be more than happy to hear from you. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.